gotta act sad because y'all lost.
3, 2, 1.
What's going on, world? This is the 27th episode of the Bet On Us podcast.
Yup.
I am 1K Watts.
And I might.
And we got Sean and Andres behind the boards.
What up, what up? Hey.
How you guys feeling?
Dude, feels so good having football season back
Bro.
around. The shit talking is back in full swing.
I'm so-
Fantasies around.
So drunk. Like I've been drinking since 10 a.m.
Dude, my Chargers lost today, but
So
I think I'm winning all 3 of my fantasy leagues, which is good. As long as Gallup didn't catch one more ball. That's all I needed to, or not Gallup,
Well,
CeeDee Lamb.
the way Dak Prescott's been throwing, you're probably fine.
How are you up by 40 points and your quarterback doesn't have one score?
He hasn't thrown a touchdown. It's
Yeah.
been rushing touchdowns and defensive touchdowns.
I hope Cowboys fans, even though you won in big fashion, you guys are still garbage.
Like, you beat the Giants.
Dude.
Like, what are we talking about?
Nothing.
You know?
But, dude, the Chargers and Dolphins today, great game. Disappointing end, obviously. We just couldn't stop Tyreek Hill, dude. Freaking Tua had 466 passing yards, I think.
The speed beat you guys.
Bro, just every pass was a bomb. We would stop him on first down, tackle for a loss on second down. It'd be like 3rd and 15, and they'd make a 35-yard completion with 15 yards run after the catch.
So do you think that's the Dolphins is that their own, like, their running game's kind of weak?
The running game didn't look bad.
It didn't?
Like, Raheem Mostert looked fine, but they were whenever they were trying to pass out of the play action, we were just eating it up. So they stopped running the ball the second half, and they were just airing it out. We just couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And then they had some graphic during the game about, I don't know what the yards were, but like anything outside of the hash marks, we had locked down. It was just that middle of the field, dude. When you have guys like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle with that kind of speed running these crazy deep drag routes,
Yeah.
They would just kind of come out the other side of the zone. We're running a lot of zone on him because you can't run man-to-man on guys that
They're gonna
fast.
beat 'em. Yeah.
So with that zone, they were just Tua would bounce around the pocket, and then after 3 or 4 seconds, you would see Tyreek or Waddle kind of pop out in between the zone wide open.
How do you beat the Dolphins? What did you see that you were like, if we did this, we could have won?
I thought we were gonna win the whole time. It's just there was the last drive of the game when they scored the game-winning touchdown. There was a penalty that we committed on 3rd down to give them a first down.
Okay.
And that was kind of like the make or break it point. If we would have stopped them right there, they would have kicked a field goal, and they still would have been down by 1.
Let me rephrase this. What do you do to keep the Dolphins under 25 points?
They're going to be good, dude. I think the Dolphins are going to be in a lot of shootouts. They have a good offense, man.
Is their defense kind of weak?
Their defense is kind of weak. I mean, the Chargers had no problem scoring on them. Dude, we had like 200-something rushing yards. Austin Eckler completely went off, had a nice 55-yard carry. It was the longest run of his career, actually.
Okay.
I don't feel like we played bad. Like, it was 37-34. Like, what else are we supposed to do?
Happy loss.
I don't necessarily want to say happy loss, but
If you had to lose, it'd be in this fashion.
I do like the way that Kellen Moore offense looks.
Yeah.
Just right off the jump, the things I did like is the more of a focus on the running game. And then he does a lot of, like, motions in wide receiver movement to where, like, he'll run out of that, but he'll have somebody motioning and swinging around the back of the backfield. Yeah. So it's kind of confusing. So you catch the linebackers, like, looking or following the motion.
Right.
And then you run it right up the middle. So we were running out of different formations a lot. And we were airing it out more. You saw Justin Herbert kind of unleash the ball a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, dude, if you guys score that many points in most games, you're gonna win.
Yeah,
that was just a shootout, dude. Like, I wouldn't be too upset about that one.
Exactly. I mean, what the total point scored was like 71 or something crazy. Yeah, ridiculous. How do you feel about the Eagles today?
It's tough, dude, because I thought our defense was gonna be much worse coming into this season. And granted, the Patriots have a really good defense that people don't talk about.
They do.
They've had a good defense for a long time. Yeah, and their defense really beat the shit out of our offense. Jalen Hurts couldn't get anything going. I think he had 13 fantasy points. Dallas Goedert had 0 fantasy points. I think
got the dub, though.
I think A.J. Brown had a couple. Like, dude, they limited our offense to where our defense had to score. And our defense at the end of the game was kind of getting bullied as well, to where there's so much that we got to work on. Our O-line looks soft. Our O-line and our special teams is garbage. You know?
I was watching the Chargers game, and like we were kind of texting in the group text, and you were like, "I'm pissed." So I checked the score. And it was only 25-20, and they had the ball.
They had the ball to win the game. Yeah.
Way too close for comfort.
The problem is Mac Jones is still Mac. He's Mac
still Mac
Jones,
Jones.
you know, and he's not gonna get it done. But there are a lot of improvements we got to make. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles' play calling. I don't know if that falls on our new offensive coordinator or if that falls on. But bro, half the plays went to Kenneth Gainwell. It was just Kenneth Gainwell every play, and I'm like, bro, we're just running the ball.
Yeah.
Let's fucking
Did
throw
Swift
it.
get much touches?
I think he got maybe 4.
Damn.
I just looked it up. He only got 1 carry for 3 yards. I was kind of surprised you guys didn't utilize him a little bit more.
I think he caught a couple, but still. And the thing
I
is,
was expecting Swift to be your guys' RB1.
I just don't. I think we got to work out the kinks.
It's week 1 shit.
Yeah, and I like seeing Jalen Carter. I like the way he played. I like.
It's such a different tune than you were singing back during the pro day before the combine. Dude. You're like, he looks fat and sloppy. I want that guy.
He was pushing people around, and and Jordan Davis got himself a forced fumble. Darius Slay got himself an interception, pick 6. You know, we look solid. We got to work out the kinks. A lot of week 1 shit. I'm just happy we walked away with a win, and I don't have to look back on this in 10 weeks and be like, we fucked up.
That's where we
and
fucked
now we're not
ourselves.
in the playoffs, you know, or whatever maybe.
That's where I'm not that mad about the Chargers losing because the Chiefs lost.
Yeah.
The Broncos obviously lost to the Raiders. The Raiders aren't going to be at the top of that division. Jimmy G, though, didn't look too bad.
He looked okay, huh? Yeah.
He looked pretty good. I mean, not great. Like, they're still the Raiders. It's still Jimmy G, but he looked pretty decent.
They looked okay.
So I guess us being 0-1 with the Chiefs makes me a little bit more comfortable. I don't feel like we have that big of a hole to dig ourselves out of. While we're talking about the AFC West, before we jump over to the Steelers with Sean real quick, the Broncos opened the game with the opening kickoff with an onside kick.
Is that aggressive or dumb?
I think dumb. And I know Sean Payton was like, so I was watching a little bit of that game, right? And the Broncos, throughout the course of the game, I think got 1 delay of game penalty and had to take 2 timeouts with the clock about to run out. And that was an issue that they had last year with time management, communication, and that was something that I thought Sean Payton was going to fix. Clearly, if in week 1, so 2 things that I'm looking at with the Broncos, right? During the preseason, the first preseason game, he played them like most of the first half, which you didn't see anybody else in the NFL do.
Right.
So you're only playing your starters that much in the preseason if you're not confident about their abilities or there's some kinks to work out. And then week 1 rolls around.
Still having the same problem.
And you're still having the same problems. You're having delays a game, miscommunications, people not on the same page. I don't think the Broncos are going to be in for a good year.
To be fair, I think delay of games and false starts are to come with every week 1. I think everyone's going to have that bullshit, you know. But
Fair.
I don't think the Broncos are going to be good by any stretch of the means, you know.
And Russell Wilson, I think next year, when he signed that big contract a year ago, next year is the first year of that contract. So if he has another shitty year, are the Broncos in a position to where they're trying to trade away this untradeable contract? Are they in a position of having to cut him and eat a bunch of dead cap money?
Yeah.
Because if he has another year that's similar to last year, you can't keep him on your roster. You can't have that good of a defense and only score 16 points a game on offense.
That's been his biggest issue.
Yeah.
But who's gonna want to take over his contract? That's
Nobody.
a lot of money. You know what I
Nobody.
mean? Like, so they're just gonna have to eat that, or just ride it out. You know what I mean? That's what sucks.
I don't think you can cut him, right?
If Pickett has a shitty year, would you like to see him on the Steelers?
That's the thing. We haven't signed him yet. You know, we haven't paid him shit.
Yeah.
Still
You know
on
what I
a
mean?
rookie
So that's
contract. He's a
the
late-round guy.
That is the good thing about that situation is that he's only in his 2nd year. So it's like, all
thinking.
right,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, like we don't have to pay the man. It's not like we gave this man all this money and then we have to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
We can just, cross that bridge when the time comes, I guess. But
So break us down the Steelers game against the Niners.
so before I get into that, I was gonna touch on the fact that like I feel like there was only maybe 4 or 5 teams that looked like half decent today.
Give me those teams.
I will say the Chargers and the Dolphins. I'll have to throw both those in the mix. It's hard not to say the 49ers or the fucking Cowboys with how much points they're putting up right now.
Browns.
The Browns beat the
look
shit
bad.
out of the Bengals, which
Joe
I
Burrow
think,
almost fucked me in one of my fantasy leagues.
I think that kind of took everybody by surprise. That I think if you were to tell me that score and I would to tell you who won, I would have picked the Bengals. But yeah, I think there was only maybe 4 or 5 teams roughly. I think everybody else kind of had like the cobwebs going on.
Yeah.
Week 1 shit.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, it's as to be expected, right?
And to circle back to like players not or starters not playing at all in preseason has become a very normal thing for a lot of teams. Like, Chargers didn't play starters like at all. I know a lot of teams kind of go with that. The Eagles didn't really play many starters. So is this just what is that a byproduct of not giving starters reps in preseason? Those needed reps to kind of knock the rust off a little bit, and now you're doing it in week 1 and week 2?
I mean, Mike Tomlin, I feel like said it best. I mean, I know it didn't reflect week 1, but he did say it's hard to fight without sparring.
Right, oh, yeah.
Right. And I was like, damn, that's a good way to put it, right? You know, like we looked super good in the preseason, and then we came out and fucking shit the bed week 1. Yeah. But I will say that we were playing a good team in the 49ers. They have a fucking solid defense.
Where are your hopes? What are you happy with the record at the end of the year?
If we get 10 wins, I'd be pumped. I'd be fired up if we got 9 or 10 wins, dude.
He said 7 and 10.
That's fine. Watch the Chargers fucking shit their pants in the playoffs again.
I was just damn, bro. That got personal.
Hey, if we're going to go there, dude.
Hey, and we're going to talk about this later, but you talking about fighting with no sparring reminded me of Izzy looking like he didn't put on gloves cap with the way he got pieced up. But we'll touch on
nice transition. No, we can transition into that and then touch back. I mean, there's not much to say about the Steelers, okay? There's not much to say about the Steelers.
You mentioned Chargers getting beat up in the playoffs the way we did last year. So to talk about the Jags, I got Calvin Ridley in 2 of my leagues.
Dog.
Pick up of the year or what?
Dog.
Pick up of the year or what? After missing a full year, 100-something yards,
had a
touchdown.
great game, yeah.
People forget how good he was before he got suspended.
Bro, he's so fast.
Also took away from Christian Kirk, who did nothing for me.
Didn't Zay Jones kind of go out? He's on the Jags too,
He had
right?
a couple receptions. I saw.
The Jags didn't look bad.
ETN had a good night.
Yeah, ETN went off. Jags are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm just so happy that football's back, bro.
Okay, so
I'm so happy.
How do you think the Vikings looked? What?
Did you see JJ sitting on the sideline at the end of the game pouting because he had like 138 receiving yards in the first half and then 12 in the second?
I think it
that much.
It was ridiculous.
He had a lot of receiving
the stat line was crazy in the first half.
So he could have fucking hit 200, maybe like Tyreek.
I think it lays in Kirk Cousins' hands, bro. And I know a lot of Vikings fans, you can't put the blame on him. Bro had 2 interceptions and 1 fumble.
He didn't look horrible.
Or 2 fumbles and 1 interception, something like that.
I don't know what his stat line was,
see,
but he put up work in the
That's the problem. People will see passing yards, but he didn't look horrible. But then there's the little things where, like, you fumbled the ball, you fumbled 2 snaps. He threw an interception. These are what's going to hurt.
I was talking to Matt, and I was like, Kirk looks good. I wasn't really watching the game. I was just kind of seeing highlights here and there. But he's like, no, turnovers are killing us. I think I actually said I'm surprised the Bucs were still in the game because it was like 17-17.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, turnovers are killing us.
And it's got to be their defense, right?
Yeah, but then again, week 1 problems, right?
You can't
turnovers, man. It's
you can't
stupid penalties.
How's Baker Mayfield gonna cut you up?
It's pretty bad. Who's the Vikings? One of their other receivers, Addison. I got him on one of my other fantasy leagues, and he's on my bench. He went off today for 17 points.
That's how I feel about Zay Flowers. Just went off for me today, and I was like, "Fuck."
Odell didn't do shit. I didn't start him.
I think he's a decoy.
But that's fine.
I don't think he had 1 reception deep down the line, but I don't think he's gonna do anything.
That's an expensive decoy.
What I've seen with Odell is his quickness is still there. Like, route running and the short shit looks great. It doesn't look like he's lost a step at that get up and go speed.
Yeah. That
down the field, he's not going to burn. I don't think anybody's afraid of Odell dusting your corner.
Right.
But Mark Andrews was hurt. So I have Mark Andrews in one of my leagues.
He did get hurt, huh?
He was out. Well, he was questionable all week and then got changed to out before the game. So I picked up Jawan Johnson from the Saints.
Did all right?
Did all right. I mean, Saints didn't look horrible. Derek Carr looked a little bit shaky to start. Missed a couple wide open passes to Olave. Olave's a dog, too, by the way.
Njoku fucked me. So let me ask you guys this. As somebody with Tua on his bench, is that solid trade value? He had 45 points.
Oh, yeah. Dude. So I think the Dolphins are going to be an aired out team all year. I think so the one thing about Tua, though, and this is where the Chargers kind of lost the game, opening drive, they drive it all the way down the field, fumble it on the 6-yard line. Chargers go down and score. There's another snap to where he bobbled it, dropped it on the ground, but picked it up. Everything was okay, and then he fumbled another snap. So there was 3 snaps in that game that he fumbled.
Yeah.
And it's like if you can't capitalize on that kind of shit, it's like that's handing the game to you. I think Tua's going to make a lot of mistakes. He threw a bad interception, so he lost one fumble, threw a bad interception. The Dolphins, you need to capitalize on their mistakes. I think he's always going to put up points. I'm sure Tua is going to have a 5,000-yard season if he stays healthy, just because of the weapons they have. He did miss a couple deep bombs, though. If you could just stop them, they throw 20 yards and get the catch and run. It's all the yards after catch.
Yeah, so yak.
Yeah, there was one. Tyreek had one deep bomb down the sideline that he caught, but was tackled immediately afterwards because Tua just doesn't really have that arm strength and didn't lead him. So Tyreek had to slow up right into J.C. Jackson,
which has been Tua's biggest downside is his arm strength.
Dude, I don't know how he sees beyond the offensive line. They had during training camp, they put a little camera on his helmet. Did you guys see any of those videos? And there were some videos that came out about like what he sees from the perspective of the pocket. I don't know how the fuck those guys see anything, bro. All you see is some 320-pound motherfuckers just barreling into you. And the fact that you could see anything 20 yards down the field is crazy to me.
Yeah. Like 6'4".
Yeah.
Like you can't see shit.
What's your breakdown of Brock Purdy as somebody that watched him today?
I think it's a stylistic offense for him. I feel like you can plug and play a lot of quarterbacks in that offense, and they would look great.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna like sit there in the pocket and like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning and
pick apart
your defense, dude. It's all design plays. He knows where he's gonna throw the ball. Like most of the time, he knows where he's gonna throw the ball before he even says hike. You know what I mean? So I don't think. He's that great.
Do you think he's going through a progression, or is he looking like he's going through progression, kind of knowing where he's going to go regardless the whole time?
I think it's that.
I think for the most part he knows where he's going, but there was a couple plays where like he was like kind of scrambling and he had to make something happen, and fucking mainly Brandon Ayuk was wide open, and I was just like, fuck,
got me
man.
a couple touchdowns.
And then the run game helps with the pass game, right? And Christian McCaffrey had 150 yards on us, you know what I mean? So it's like their O-line. Like their front seven, like on both sides of the ball,
the best,
the best, dude.
Yeah.
And like I say, front seven on offense, meaning like they're 5 offensive linemen. They usually run 2 tight end sets, so that means they're just fucking to the second level, blocking our linebackers, and then it's like our corners and safeties are making tackles.
Yeah,
and they're getting 8 to 10 yards a pop on like every carry. It's fucking terrible.
Here's my week 1 breakdown in the NFC. I think the Niners are number 1 as of today. I think the Cowboys are number 2 right now. Their offense sucks.
Not give them too much credit for winning the way they did.
Their defense is really good, which I think puts them at 2, and I think the Eagles are 3. I think we got a lot to figure out.
Yeah, a lot of football left though.
Yeah.
A lot of football.
We started recording a little bit before the Cowboys game was over. In one of our fantasy leagues, I was up by like 4 points, and the only person he had left was Lamb. So I'm really nervous about checking that.
Oh, you lost.
Game.
No.
Shut the fuck up right now. Okay. Whew. As long as he didn't score a touchdown, I'm good.
Look, what else we want to touch on?
We talked about the Izzy Adesanya and Sean Strickland fight. Dude,
did you actually watch it? Or you just saw highlights?
I watched.
Okay.
I watched the full fight. You watched the full fight.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd you think?
I think Sean was every step that Izzy took. Sean was right there. I think he was ready for everything. His defense was on point. I think every time that Izzy threw something, he threw something back. I think having a counter for everything, I think really affects somebody when they're throwing something. Like, if you get countered 60-70% of the time, fine. But I think Sean countered 100% of the time, which I think really threw Izzy into a loop. He didn't have much space. He likes to play against the fence, which I fucking hate. And that's when he gets caught. Like, he got caught, and now he's...
By Alex Barrett or Pierre.
Yeah, well, even last night. Or was it? Yeah, last night.
The end of round 1.
He was against the fence, gets caught, and now he's, like, trying to scramble, get away from these punches.
I don't know how that punch didn't turn his lights off.
Fuck.
It turned. To be honest, dude, like it looked a lot worse than I think it was because Izzy like tried to pop right back up, and Sean Strickland just jumped on his ass.
Is it because he got?
But he caught him
with that
clean.
looping hook right over.
He caught him clean, and it was almost like he like knocked him over, and like I don't know. It wasn't
because when
I don't think it dazed him as much as you think. Like, because if you look at him, like he hits the ground and he like tries to get back up.
It could have been a flash knockdown.
He was already going in that.
He was kind of already like momentum. His momentum was taking him that way, and he also got like
he tried pulling the same thing that he did against Alex, where he just balled up, letting him unload, and then he opened up with that check hook.
Yeah.
And that's what Sean hit him with the jab. And then Izzy just opens right up with that check hook, and Sean throws that mean right hand straight down the barrel and just beat him to his chin before the hook got there. Yeah. So I think like he rocked him, but again, what you're saying, he was swinging his full momentum in with that hook. So the way he kind of like buckled down was more from the momentum of him swinging.
Yeah. But I do think that he had a great game plan of like keeping him on his back foot and like staying right in his face, because if you give Israel Adesanya space, that fool's gonna just kick the shit out of you, head kick you, fucking leg kick you, and like whenever you're that close to somebody, you can't really throw head kicks.
Yeah.
I said that as I was watching the fight, and he was like from me to Andreas, dude, and that fool fucking throws a head kick and lands it on Sean Strickland. And I was like, how the fuck do you throw a head kick?
Nasty. How
do you throw a head kick when you're that close to somebody? I totally like had to eat my words whenever I fucking said that, but no, he had a great game plan and just kept the pressure on him. I think Izzy was gassed towards the end, and Sean Strickland could have went another 3 rounds.
I feel like Izzy thought he was gonna cruise.
He might have not had the best.
He did.
I
think he overlooked this guy.
He might have not had the best training camp. It's hard. Fuck, dude. We've heard the great George Foreman once said it's hard to wake up and run at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk sheets. Like, dude, there's a certain point you're on top of the world, you're beating everybody. It's like he probably just overlooked this guy.
That was a good quote. That's solid. That was
fire. I appreciate that. I do not like Sean Strickland, though.
I don't either, bro.
That dude's such a fucking
such
buffoon.
A racist bitch.
No, what he reminds me of is so Sean's been in the UFC a long time. People forget that he used to fight at fucking welterweight and got completely dismantled by Kamaru Usman before Usman went and took the belt from Woodley. Sean, where was I going with that? I was making a fucking point. He's putting on a show like Colby Covington.
The knockoff, the Kmart version.
Dude, that's what it is. It's the Kmart version of fucking Colby Covington, dude. You look at old Sean Strickland, and he wasn't like that. And his shit talking's so corny, dude. Like, Izzy's over here jerking off his dog. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Here's my thing. Annoying. And, like, do morals and ethics go out the window in this business? Because he's talking about, wanting to kill people, thinking about killing people all the time, and how women shouldn't be able to vote. And like, bro, you are going back into a time where Neanderthals are moving, That way of thinking is so far gone.
I think it's almost easier to sell a fight and create attention when you're the heel, when you're the bad guy, when you're the asshole, when you're saying outlandish shit. People buy it because they want to see you get knocked out. The same reason Jake Paul does so well.
Same with McGregor,
Yeah, it's not because people want to see these guys win. It's because they want to see them get fucking knocked out. But it sells. It's unfortunate, but
so much pressure to put on yourself when you're talking all that shit, and then if you do go out there and get knocked out, you have to fucking deal with all of it.
But when you're not the champ, the pressure's there anyways.
Yeah, but now he is the champ, so it's like, is he gonna keep that same energy? I don't know.
You know who started? You know who started this wave of fighters acting like this though? It's Chael Sonnen. Do you remember old Chael Sonnen press conferences?
Yeah, he said Anderson Silva sucks. After one of his fights, who says that?
He told Tito Ortiz that the only person in him and his wife's relationship making any money is his wife, and that she's doing it with. He called his wife a fucking whore, like shit like that. Chael Sonnen really laid the blueprint for these guys to act like this because it works.
The bad guy.
Yeah, Chael Sonnen, the bad guy.
And you know what? Chael Sonnen predicted that Sean Strickland was gonna win too. I was like, damn.
So we were just talking about this before we started recording. Was Sean's shit talking antics, did it get to Izzy at all, or did Izzy just overlook him?
I think it's just so dumb that it doesn't affect anybody. I think Izzy just overlooked him and thought this was gonna be a cakewalk.
I do think shit talking affects certain people though. For example, Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo.
Yeah,
dude, seeing old clips of their shit talking between each other was so funny. Like there was that one where Jose Aldo's sitting down and Conor McGregor's just walking through a hallway, and Rising walks in front of Jose, just farts. Just literally like farts right at him. Yeah.
Okay, so since we're here, let me ask you guys this: who do you got tomorrow night? Bills, Jets.
That's like the perfect 9/11 game, right? Both fucking New York teams.
Whoa, hey.
Hey.
With the Jets.
Sorry.
I got the Jets.
I'm gonna take the Jets too. I think the Bills.
I'll go Bills then if you guys are both gonna go Jets.
I like the Jets.
I could see the Bills having a little bit of a regression this year.
I like the team chemistry in the Jets building.
The Hard Knocks has been dope.
Hard Knocks has been fun to watch. I will agree on that.
And does Saleh not get you fucking fired up sometimes?
That fool's a stud, dude.
Oh, speaking of getting fired up, how about the Lions?
Hey, beat the Chiefs. That was a good game. It helps that Tony couldn't catch anything.
Bro, Pat put the ball where he needed it to be.
Yeah.
That's not on his fault.
He looked off, and he still got me like 30 points in fantasy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he didn't have Travis. You can tell he was a little lost without Travis. I think he's going to pick it up next week.
Did you see Chris
Or whenever
Jones
Travis gets back.
in the crowd?
2 phones?
Chris Jones in the crowd wearing
Yeah.
a Seahawks hat?
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I saw him with 2 phones like this.
Yeah, crazy. He had a Seahawks hat on.
One for the bitches and one for the dough. Dude, I think the Chiefs might take a little step backwards, too. It's Patrick Mahomes. Not having Travis Kelce hurts. And you drafted Travis Kelce in our league.
In 2 leagues, actually. So, yeah, that hurt double trouble.
That's bad. I thought Isaiah Pacheco was going to get... I thought they were going to be more run-centric.
I put money on him.
Yeah.
You know, that one hurts. Sky Moore sucks. You know?
I did a little parlay. I missed the first leg because I took Lions and Chiefs over 52. I thought it was going to be a shootout, dude. The Lions last year scored like 30-something points on average a game, and the Chiefs...
Okay.
I miscalculated.
Eagles, Vikings, Thursday night. Who we got?
Eagles.
Where's it at?
In Philly.
Okay.
At night, yeah.
I'll have to lean with you guys. I do think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think you guys are going to edge them out.
Yeah, Philly at night's a hard place to play.
Their defense must be trash if Baker Mayfield
Cut
carved
them up. Fuck. Yeah, I think our offense takes a step forward compared to today.
Yeah, week 1 kinks. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys the dub within a possession. I think it'll be a close game.
I don't think it'll be a close game. I think either we get our shit blown out or we blow them out.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Who do the Steelers play next week?
We got the Browns on Monday night.
Dude, the Browns did not look bad. The Bengals looked awful.
They did.
But the Browns didn't look completely horrible. I got Nick Chubb in one of my fantasy leagues, and he kind of went off today.
I'd be worried. I think the Browns are good.
Yeah, I think the Browns.
Well, it's a divisional game. We always play each other tough. I feel like, you know, but
what did Watson?
we need to step it up from last week.
Look like today.
Who?
Did Deshaun Watson go off
He
today?
did okay.
I saw he had a rushing touchdown. I don't know what he did after that, though.
Who you guys got?
We play the Titans. I'll take that dub.
Easy dub. Saints beat them. Did the Saints win today? I think they beat
Yes. Close though.
them. Okay.
Barely.
You guys want to wrap this thing up for week 1?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Week 2, we're about to step it up. Things gonna be keep going crazier. I want to create like segments that we do weekly.
Yeah.
I want to grow this thing, get this background redone.
Yep.
But until then, we appreciate you guys for listening. Thank you.
Tune in next week.